Hey friends, Stephen Michael Miller here. So glad to have you with me this morning. And today's morning motivation is all about how to overcome fear. I remember a few years ago, I was sitting in my bed and I was contemplating this concept of fear, of choice and change, and all these different things that we face in life. And as I was sitting in my bed and I had my journal out, I started to kind of get some thoughts and ideas around fear and why we get held back and why it keeps us sometimes in the places that we don't really want to be, and what we can do to actually overcome that fear. So I hope you'll stick with me throughout this morning momentum, because this to me, this has been one of the most powerful conversations for me that's really helped me through a variety of different things. um, I've got my whiteboard here waiting, and I'll pull that up in just a second. But as I was going through and thinking about this whole thing, I started to write down some notes, and this image came into my mind uh, about our human experience that we're going through. And I wanted to draw some of that up here for you as I go through and explain how we can better identify how we're showing up in life and how to overcome those fears that oftentimes will hold us back. So I'm going to pull this up and hopefully you can see this okay. Uh, we go through life, and maybe I should have tested this. We go through life and we gather experiences. As a matter of fact, I'm gathering some experience right now, and I'm going to grab a different marker. But we go through life and we gather experiences, and those experiences are either good or bad. I mean, we oftentimes will label them all sorts of different things based on what we're going through, based on our interpretation of that experience. And let's see if that'll. Oh, that's way better. So we go through life, and I'm going to kind of draw up here a little bit of a timeline of sorts. And if this is our past and this is our future, then that must mean that this moment right here is the present moment. Okay, so we've got our past, we've got our present and our future, and these these experiences that we have kind of find themselves all over the place, and these are all sorts of different experiences. Some of these experiences we will call success, and I'm going to label that past success. Some of these experiences we may label failure, so I'm going to call that past failure. Okay, so we've got our past successes and our past failures. But the problem that we face going through life is oftentimes we'll look at our past, and rather than just seeing it for what it was, which is just an experience that we had, we will oftentimes embellish those experiences that we had in our mind. But we usually don't do that with our past good experiences. We usually do that with our past failures, right? We blow them up, and we kind of blow them out of proportion, these past experiences or these past failures, and we make them a lot bigger than they actually were. We'll actually embellish them. If you've ever kind of told the reverse fish story, right? When you go fishing, you say, "Hey, I bought this fish. I caught this fish, and it was this big," you know. And then the next time you tell a story, you say, "I caught this fish, and it was this big." And then the next time you tell, you say, "It's this big." Well, we oftentimes will do that, but we don't do that with our successes. We'll oftentimes do that with our failures, what we perceive as our failures. And so we'll tell everyone, I lost my job and it was the worst thing ever. Or, I was in this relationship and this person did this to me, and it was horrible and it ruined my life. And we'll use superlatives in the negative about those experiences. And the problem when we do that is we start to use words like, instead of "I experienced that," we start to say things like, "This is who I am." Right? We'll start to say, "This is who I am." And we'll use this very powerful language, this "I am" language, in describing who we are based on these past experiences. And when we're having these past failures and we start to associate these failures with who we are, we start to act out of fear. Almost all of our life begins to act out of fear, because if this is who I am, not just something that I experienced, then what is my future going to look like? Well, typically, if this is who I am, if this is who I've become, if I am my past failures, if I am my past bad experiences, then acting out of fear, we will typically create future failure, right? Fear creates future failure. Instead of what we really want, which is right here, we want this future success, right? We all want this future success. But oftentimes because of these past experiences, we think that that's not even in reach because this is who we are, right? We're not necessarily our past successes. Those are just coincidences or things that happen luckily. But this is who I am. And I want to help you understand this isn't obviously what I believe, and this is nothing that you should believe either, because I'm going to talk about the biggest power that you have, which is right here in overcoming fear. The biggest power that you have is your choice. See, choice happens only in the present. Choice doesn't happen in the past. Once it's gone, once it's happened, there's no more choice in it, right? It's already there. There's no choice in the future because it hasn't even come yet. It's not here yet. So the only place where we have this massive, amazing power of choice is in the present moment. So I want you to get present for just a moment. I want us to think about what we can feel in any given moment. See, I believe there are two camps. There are fear-based emotions, and there are, I'm going to call it faith-based emotions, right? On a previous video, we talked about faith, and you got to have faith and why faith is so important. So I'm going to talk about these in terms of fear-based emotions and faith-based emotions, or negative and positive types of emotions. But at any given time, you will be able to feel, or you can choose to feel different emotions. Now, I say choose to feel on purpose because I believe that we do have a choice in what and how we feel. I want you to imagine for just a moment, what are the negative things that can come up for you in any given day that you could feel? The fear-based emotions, right? These are emotions like depression, anxiety, fear, of course. These are emotions like being scared or regret, not good enough, feelings of being not good enough or unworthy, all sorts of these negative feelings that keep us in this state of feeling that I am something less or different than I really am. Right? We're using this powerful language, this creative language of I am in a very negative way, and it keeps us in this mode of failure. Fear keeps us receiving all the things that are bad for us, or the things that we don't even want. And so those are those fear-based emotions. And as I even say those words, I wonder if you felt it, but I feel it all the time. Is when you say those negative type of words, those fear-based emotions, those fear-based words, it doesn't feel good. Yeah, you can actually feel the energy in a room shift and change, and maybe you might feel more sad, and that's a fear-based emotion, right? Sadness. Um, but on the other hand, there are faith-based emotions, things like excitement and trust and vitality, or not even just emotions, but feelings and joy and laugh and happiness and excitement, like all these different faith-based emotions, positivity, like all of those different things. So, in any given moment where you're experiencing life, you have a choice as to whether you want to stay in a fear based emotion or a faith based emotion. Now, this isn't to say that you can't experience, depression or anxieties or even fears. But what we do have a choice over is whether or not we want to stay in that state. Do you want to stay in that fear based emotion, or do you want to swap it over to a faith based emotion, something that's going to be more productive, that's going to help you to receive the future success that you want? Because I do believe that it's our choice. Have you ever felt sad and then someone came up to you with a big smile on their face and it just changed the way that you felt? Have you ever felt depressed or down or anxious and someone put their arm around you and said, "Hey, it's okay, let's do this. We can do this." And it changed your state, it changed how you were feeling in that moment, and it changed kind of how you acted and what you did moving forward? Have you ever felt that before? That's because there is power in choice. There's power in influence in these different emotions. And if you're feeling depressed, depressed actually looks a very specific way. Depressed looks alone. Depressed slows down. Fear-based emotions are all that way. They all slow you down. They want you to be alone and separate yourself from other people. These fear-based emotions will keep you in a state of uh, it's a state of alone, lonely stillness. Energy. Tony Robbins says that emotions are energy in motion, and those negative emotions, most of them come to a halt or a standstill, whereas these positive faith-filled emotions are energetic. You can feel the energy in the room and the energy shift, and there's a positive force behind those different emotions. So if you're feeling depressed, I bet you that if you were to stand up straight, chest out, shoulders back, put a huge smile on your face, like smile as big as you can, and walk around the world and just breathe in deep and all those different things and have a smile on your face, it's hard to stay depressed when you change your physical state to reflect what it would feel like to be happy. So even if you're not feeling happy, if you do those physical state changes, those physical emotion movements, then your emotions will change. You can choose how you're going to feel or what you want to feel. And I'll tell you right now, as I was sitting in my room and I was contemplating fear and faith kind of based emotions, as I was contemplating those things, this thought came to me. This definition of fear came to me, which helps me to overcome fear more and more and more every single day. And the kind of the phrase that came to my mind was, well, first of all, before I go there, what happened was I always used to think that fear and faith were kind of they were opposites, complete opposites, right? I thought that if you had fear, you can't have faith. If you had faith, you can't have fear. And that's what I used to think all the time until this thought came to me, which I believe it kind of resonated with me. I felt like it was a little more accurate, which was fear and faith are actually very, very similar. Um, they're actually both based in faith, if I could say it that way. And I want to help you understand what I mean, because the phrase that came to me, or the definition of fear that I got, was fear is putting faith in what you don't want. Let me write that up here real quick. Fear is putting faith in what I don't want. Right? So fear is putting faith in what I don't want. And if fear is putting faith in what I don't want, then how do I shift from the things that I don't want to the things that I do want? Well, I just start to put my faith there. Because here's what's going to happen. You are a powerful creator. Like, we all are amazing, powerful creators. Your life as it is today is a sum of everything that you've experienced. Right? It's a sum of all your different choices. All of your thoughts and all of your words and all of your actions have led and accumulated up into this point that is part of your experience that you've had. And right now, everything that you have, everything that's in your space is there because you've put your faith into it. So if you've got something in your life right now that you don't want, stop putting your faith into that. Stop putting your belief in this idea that this is who you are. Stop putting your faith in these future failures that are bound to happen because you're putting your faith into them. Instead, put your faith into what you actually do want. Put your faith in those things that are actually going to get you where you want to go. Put your faith into that next promotion or that better job or that new relationship or that improved relationship that you're in right now. Put your faith into, creating better health for yourself. Put your faith into all of these amazing, wonderful things rather than putting your faith into, oh, I'm just fat, or nobody likes me, or man, I mean, can you feel it? Like the energy of those words and those phrases, they're horrible. Put your faith into something better. As you start to do that, you'll start to see, all of a sudden, you'll start to see that these good things will start to expand for you. This is what you want. You want these good past successes and current emotions to expand for you. And as you do that, your faith in yourself will grow, and you will also be able to overcome any kind of doubt and fear that would come up. And you'll start to use this I am statement for the positive. See, because here's the thing, here's the reality. Have you ever looked in a mirror and looked at yourself and said, oh, I'm ugly, or I am fat, or any kind of thing like that? I actually, that word, that phrase, "I am fat," is something that I think almost everybody, whether they've ever been fat or not or whatever, has probably said to themselves at one point. And if you've ever said that to yourself, here's the truth. And I want to expand your mind for just a second if I could. Here's the truth. The truth is your body is made up of 70 to 75% water. So it's actually a lie to say, I am fat. You're not fat. You're experiencing fat. I don't care if you're 400 or 500 pounds or if you're only 100 pounds or whatever. I don't care, right? We all have fat on our bodies, regardless of how big or small we are. We all have fat on our bodies, but that's not who we are. We are more water than we are fat. So how come you don't ever look in the mirror and say to yourself, oh man, I'm so water today? Well, that we don't say that because we aren't thinking appropriately. We aren't thinking the right way. That is actually who we are. But take it one step further, who we really are is this massive, like amazing, uh, crazy, wonderful, infinite being. We come from this eternal nature. Like this is who we are. That's who you are. You're amazing. You're tremendous. You have all this ability to succeed in life if you'll put your faith in the things that you do want rather than putting your faith in what you don't want. But in that light, here's the beautiful part of this. This is proof right now that you are amazing and powerful, that you can create everything, that you have the power within to create an amazing, amazing life because you've already been creating. You've already been creating all those things that you don't want because you've been putting all of your time, all of your thoughts, all of your words, and all of your energy into those things that you don't want, which is why they have appeared into your space, which is why they are part of your experience right now. And if you want things different, all you have to do, because you're already an amazingly powerful creator, all you have to do is begin to put your faith or your faith in the things that you do want. So my challenge for everyone today is to begin putting faith in the things that you do want. Begin putting all of your energy, your time, your words, your actions into those things that you do want. Use this amazing power of choice in the present to overcome fear and to choose those faith-filled emotions that will drive the correct thoughts, the correct words, the more positive and successful actions that will get you those things that you do want right now. Thank you, everybody. Have a wonderful, wonderful day, and we'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.